Have you ever stared at a new career path and just felt completely overwhelmed? Like you're at the bottom of a mountain with no idea how to even start climbing? Well, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down that feeling and turn it into a real, actionable plan by looking at 5 mistakes that stop most people in their tracks.
And let's start with some real talk. A confession, really. I spent months just doom-scrolling job ads, and I was 100% convinced that I wasn't qualified. Every single post seemed to demand a PhD, 10 publications, and years of big pharma experience. It felt like I was trying to crash a party I definitely wasn't invited to. I bet that sounds a little familiar, right?
Well, here's the punchline. All that stress, all that imposter syndrome, it was all built on a foundation of, well, nothing. I was just plain wrong. My entire approach was flawed from the get-go.
And that brings us right to the first major hurdle, facing what feels like an impossible goal. When you see the entire mountain at once, you feel stuck before you even take the first step. That's imposter syndrome in a nutshell, and it's paralyzing.
But here's the good news. I made all the classic, embarrassing mistakes so you don't have to. Think of my failures as your personal shortcut. So this leads right into mistake number 2, what I call the preparation trap. This is that little voice in your head that says you have to be absolutely perfect, 100% qualified before you can even think about applying. But waiting for perfect is the real mistake because perfect never comes.
Okay, this is the mindset shift that changes everything. The myth we all believe is that you need this long, perfect resume filled with years of direct experience. But the reality, especially in skilled fields like writing, you need proof you can do the work. Compelling samples of your skills are way more powerful than a list of job titles.
And that was my problem, right there. I was firing off resumes into the void and hearing nothing but crickets. Why? Because I was asking people to trust me with zero proof I could actually do the job. It's like auditioning to be a chef but showing up without any food to taste. Of course no one replied.
And look, I know building a portfolio sounds like this massive, intimidating project. It's not. You don't even need a client. You can build your first killer samples in a single weekend. Just grab a dense study abstract and rewrite it to be clear. Find a complex news article and turn it into a simple patient handout. Mock up a quick slide deck. You're proving your skills right now.
And get this, you don't need a giant library of work. You don't need 20 different projects. All you need is 2. Just 2 strong, relevant samples are enough to completely change the game. It gives people something real to look at and establishes your credibility instantly. All right, so once you've got those samples ready, we have to talk about how you're actually applying. Because how you apply is just as important as what you apply with. And this brings us to mistake number 3, sounding like a corporate robot. I can barely say it. We all do it, right? We default to the super stiff, formal language thinking it sounds professional. Dear Sir/Madam, I am writing to express my profound interest. It's soul-crushing to read and it gets deleted almost immediately. Here's the secret. Clients hire humans. Your job is to be clear, not boring. They want to work with a person, not a machine. So let your personality come through a little. Write like a real person. I promise, it's not only more engaging, it's way more effective.
Okay, now for mistake number 4, and this one is huge. So many people make this one. They only look on job boards. If you're spending all your energy there, you're only seeing a tiny slice of the pie, like 15%. The real opportunities, the vast majority of them, come from making connections and direct outreach. Job boards should be your last stop, not your first.
So what does that actually mean for you? It means you have to get in the game. You've got to be an active participant in your industry. Get on LinkedIn. Find people in your target field and leave thoughtful comments on their posts. Send personalized messages. Build real human connections. You have to go where the opportunities actually are.
Which brings us to our final mistake, mistake number 5. And honestly, this might be the most important one of all. It has nothing to do with your resume or your skills. It's all about your mindset. And it's the single biggest reason people give up way too soon.
We need to talk about the silence. You know what I mean? That long period after you send everything out, and you hear absolutely nothing back. It's so easy to think that silence means you've failed, that you're not good enough, but that is completely wrong. The silence isn't a verdict. It's just part of the process. Breaking into any new field takes time, and you have to be patient.
So, we've identified all the big mistakes. Now what? Let's talk about the path forward. How do we turn all these lessons into a simple, effective practice that actually moves the needle?
It all comes down to one core principle. You need to burn this into your brain. Consistency beats perfection.
every single time. It's not about one perfect application. It's about small, steady actions that you take every single day. And here's what that looks like in the real world. This is not about overwhelming yourself. It's a simple plan. Just aim for one thoughtful application or outreach message a day. Create one new small portfolio sample a week. Make one new professional connection a week. That's it. The goal isn't to make a giant leap. The goal is just to keep moving.
And you know what? Once you drop all those old, mistaken beliefs and start focusing on this simple, consistent strategy, you're going to find that the thing that felt so impossible is suddenly right there. You are so much closer than you think.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Of these 5 mistakes, which one has been your biggest roadblock? Are you stuck seeing your goal as one impossible mountain? Are you trapped waiting to be perfect? Are you using flawed application strategies? Or are you letting the silence convince you to quit? Figure out which one it is, because naming it is the first step to finally getting past it.